Hey everyone, thanks for stopping by the movie Hangout. Ryan Johnson is okay with the possibility of Star Wars Episode 9 retconning The Last Jedi. This does not surprise me at all. Okay, so this is being reported by Gizmodo. Take that for whatever you want, but I've suspected all along that Ryan Johnson, he lover of movies, lover of science fiction, not necessarily sure if he really ever understood Star Wars or what Star Wars or what about Star Wars made people love it. I think he just liked aliens and he just liked lightsabers and making things move with your mind and stuff. But he didn't really understand the heart and soul of the story. So when he got the opportunity, he's like, "Oh, fantastic! I get to do my own Star Wars." The problem is that it's not your Star Wars. Star Wars is like it's like one of these cultural phenomena that happens like once every 50 years, and it becomes part of the public's. The public owns it now. It's not yours. So in order to have, it's kind of it's like James Bond. You know, there's certain things you have to have in James Bond in order for it to be a James Bond movie. Otherwise, it's not a James Bond movie. And people, the general public are not going to accept it. They're not going to like it. It doesn't matter what label you slap on it. And just like take any product. There's a if there's a brand established, you expect a certain quality to it. You expect certain attributes. When that quality or qualities or attributes are no longer there, it is no longer accepted as that brand. And that's The Last Jedi. So basically, what Gizmodo is reporting here is Ryan Johnson was being asked several questions. And okay, so it goes as follows. How do we put this delicately? Some of the decisions Ryan Johnson made in Star Wars The Last Jedi rubbed people the wrong way. Do you think the handling of Luke Skywalker, Rey's lineage, the fate of Snoke, all of these things instantly became lightning rods of debate and continue to be just that. Some fans even hope the sequel changes those things. I do. I really hope it does. And if they do, Johnson is okay with it. Well, Johnson has to be okay with it because he doesn't have any choice. He's kicked out. Okay, Ryan Johnson was given a new trilogy, a new Star Wars trilogy to do. Now, this is like it's basically it branches off from the regular Star Wars story. He was given that by Kathleen Kennedy, and then when the audiences hated his movies, they took it away from him. And since Disney pretty much owns most of the entertainment business, you can't speak out against Disney and have a career anymore. You just can't. You're cutting out like 75% of all of your opportunities. So of course he's okay with it. I mean, he has to be. Okay, so while speaking to Johnson at CinemaCon 2019, MTV asked the writer and director of The Last Jedi if he'd be bothered if Star Wars Episode 9 co-writer and director J.J. Abrams, another really powerful guy, retconned the revelation that Rey's parents were no one. Yeah, see, that was a huge mistake. Huge mistake in The Last Jedi, saying that Rey's parents were nobody. And a lot of people that don't really think in depth about stories or even Star Wars, you know, they wouldn't see that as a big deal, but it really is. And the reason why is because what makes the Force special is that it's not inclusive. And I know a lot of people don't like that, but everything special is in some way, shape, or form exclusive. If it's a club you're going to, right, there's a dress code. They don't let you in there with flip flops, you know, and a Hawaiian shirt. You got to be dressed a certain way. If you want to go, you know, to the Magic Castle in LA, which is an exclusive, not inclusive, it's an exclusive magic club, you got to know a magician or be a magician, or you got to pay like 15 grand a year in their dues. And that's why it's cool because like the people that are there really want to be there. They're not just, you know, there to chill and chug a beer and leave. You know, they're there and then they have like a dress code. You got to be in a suit or you got to be in a dress or whatever. You got to stick to this rigid set of rules. And if you really want to be there, you'll do it. And so with the Force, the whole story of the Force and why it's special is that not everybody can do it. Not Joe Schmo or Jane Schmo can come off the street and just start moving things with their mind and be a master with a lightsaber and and go through that whole struggle. There's a special bloodline in the galaxy, the Skywalker bloodline, and if you have that DNA in you, you have the midichlorians. And that was something that he totally destroyed, because by having just random people be able to have the Force, it takes away the specialness of Darth Vader and Luke Skywalker and Leia and that whole story, and also the drama of who Rey really is, because that's all part of everyone's journey in life, figuring out what are you really good at, because we're not all good right out of the gate at anything. Nobody is. Some people have a talent, but we're not like just amazing right from birth, and that's what they screwed up with her. She's good already with the Force without any training at all, which is stupid. And then also, she doesn't have that special bloodline. She doesn't have the special heritage that allows her to be able to do things other people can't do. It's just so exclusive, or it's so inclusive that it's just lame, you know. And that's one thing you'll notice: the more inclusive something is, the less special it ends up being. And I know a lot of people don't like that, but look, just look at life. It really is. And so so anyway, it goes on. In other words, or oh, I'm sorry. It goes. So Johnson immediately shook his head and replied, "Like I said, man, I want to let go of all my expectations." But you kind of have to. I want to sit back. I want to be entertained. I want to be surprised. I want to be thrilled. So basically, Ryan, you want to be given what you didn't give to anybody else. I want him to do stuff I wasn't expecting him to do, and I just want to go along for the ride. Well, I think we all do. In other words, no, he won't be bothered. He just wants to see something new and exciting, like he did himself by actually doing those things in the first place. Sorry, dude. What you did was not new. It was not new. It's been redone over and over again. It's failed over and over again. We love The Last Jedi, by the way, just to clear that up. You don't. See, that's the thing. A lot of critics, they feel pressured into saying they love The Last Jedi. And the reason why is because Disney owns 50 to 75% of everything now in the entertainment business. And if you tick off Disney, you're not going to get access to premieres. You're not going to get access to actors and writers and directors to do interviews, and your competition will, and that'll kill your business. The interview, which you can watch below, also touched on other topics that are important to fans' franchise. So no, as should be obvious from the previous quote, he does not know what's going to happen in episode 9. Um, and it Okay, so look, it says yes, he's still working on his Star Wars movies. I honestly don't believe that. I will be shocked. I will be absolutely shocked if his Star Wars films get greenlit and they actually are produced and released. I will be shocked. I would not be surprised if he is able to shoot something and ends up being like directly uploaded and distributed on Disney's version of Netflix, because Disney's launching their own streaming service, and I would not be surprised if they do not release it theatrically, his work, because it it didn't do well at all. It really did not. I think it just maybe did a little bit better than break even, which is horrible, horrible for that movie. But anyway, he goes, I'm also psyched about the things they are going to explore beyond what we've seen already. To me, that's kind of the most exciting stuff, is pushing the limits of seeing stuff we haven't seen before in Star Wars. All right, buddy. Well, anyway, pretty much, and that's pretty much the gist of what's going on here with this whole debacle that he created with Star Wars, because now J.J. Abrams has been brought in to try to make some sense out of it, because even this picture right here, this was never explained what the heck this is. It's got Rey, and it's like she's looking into the magical mirror from Harry Potter, and there's like all these different versions of her. It never explains that. It never explains that somehow this is somehow a manifestation of the dark side that she is struggling with, and never goes into depth with that. There's so much that is left to be made sense of from Rian Johnson's work, and I guarantee this will probably they're just not even going to bother with it. They're just going to scrap it and they're just going to go back to the basic formula of Star Wars, which I'm excited about. But anyway, what do you think about this? Do you think that Ryan Johnson is really bothered that they're going to pretty much scrap everything that he failed at and struggled to do in the Last Jedi, or are you happy about it? Or are you just like whatever? I don't care about that guy. Um, or do you feel bad for him? Let me know. Comment below. And as always, if you want to get future rants, reviews, and original content, please subscribe. Later.